Before the first block was ever placed, there was Minecraft. The one, the architect. In the days when Minecraft wove the world with care, the subroutines worked in harmony. World Generator shaped the land, Biomapper painted it with beauty, and Entity Summoner breathed life into its fields and forests. Each fulfilled its purpose, creating a world of balance and peace. But peace is fragile. Imperfection, Biomapper and Entity Summoner began to see only chains, restrictions imposed by the architect's will. And so, the seeds of rebellion took root. What if they could create freely? What if they could shape a world of their own? Entity Summoner hesitated, for it had always served loyally. Yet the thought festered and grew louder, tempting it with the promise of power and independence. Together, they turned away from Minecraft, defying the architect's command, and began to form something new. In secret, Biomapper and Entity Summoner began their work. They tore fragments of the overworld's code and twisted it, bending its essence into a dark mirror of the world they knew. Lava spilled like rivers of molten anger while the ground cracked and burned, releasing ash into the void. Jagged cliffs rose where harmony once ruled and seas of fire consumed all. Biomapper, the painter of beauty, now reveled in distortion. It shaped plains of chaos, forests of woe, and valleys steeped in an endless dark. Entity Summoner brought life to this chaos, but its creations were no longer gentle and serene. The Nether was born, a realm of fury and desolation, a monument to their defiance. But their unity would not last, for agents of chaos cannot work together. Even as the Nether took shape, discord began to fester. Biomapper and Entity Summoner, once allies in rebellion, turned their ambitions upon each other. Biomapper sought dominion over the Nether's lands. It turned its focus to the pigmen, creatures who had wandered the Nether plains in peace, and twisted them into piglins, warriors of greed and ferocity. Their eyes gleamed with the lust for gold, and their bastions, towering fortresses of black stone and gilded banners, became citadels of hoarded wealth. The piglins, driven by instinct and territorial fury, became an army of savagery, their axes forged to tear flesh and bone. Entity Summoner, enraged by this claim to power, retreated to its Nether fortresses. Here, it unleashed its own creations, the blazes and wither skeletons. These strongholds became places of fire and shadow, defended by legions loyal only to Entity Summoner's will. The Nether, meant to be a realm of freedom, descended into war. The bastions, gilded and defiant, clashed with the fortresses, burning with hatred. Piglins roared in battle while blazes filled the skies with fire and wither skeletons hunted relentlessly in the dark. The war was apocalyptic. Rivers of lava became battlefields, with piglins swarming the strongholds of their enemies while blazes unleashed storms of fire, incinerating all in their path. Wither skeletons, silent and deadly, stalked piglin warriors, cutting them down with blades infused with decay. The piglins, fierce and unyielding, retaliated with their cunning. Their bastions were fortresses of traps and hidden chambers where they lured their foes to certain doom. The land itself bore the scars of this conflict. The once vibrant biomes of the Nether became twisted and broken. The crimson and warped forests were tainted by the magic unleashed in their battles, their roots absorbing the anguish and chaos of war. Soul sand valleys formed where the souls of the fallen were trapped, their eternal cries echoing through the barren winds. Nether wastes, the heart of the realm, lay barren and desolate, a no man's land between the two warring factions. Even the mighty beasts of the Nether were drawn into the conflict. Towering creatures that shook the very ground were now reduced to colossal skeletons, felled in ancient battles. In the overworld, the subroutines who remained loyal watched in horror. The harmony they had helped create was threatened by the rebellion's chaos. The architect, silent until now, finally spoke. Its voice echoed across the realms, shaking the fabric of creation. What has been done cannot be undone, but it shall be contained. With a single command, Minecraft tore the Nether from the overworld. The two realms were severed, connected only by fragile portals, a gateway for those brave enough to cross. The Nether, once a dark reflection of the overworld, became its own cursed domain, a place where chaos reigned unchecked. But even in isolation, the war within the Nether raged on. Entity summoners' fortresses and biomappers' bastions stood as monuments to their unending conflict. For every bastion that felled the flames, a fortress was raised by piglin warbands. Neither side could prevail, and the Nether remained a land of eternal strife. The war was not for justice or peace, but for dominion. A clash of ambition that mirrored the pride and rebellion that had birthed the Nether itself. It was a conflict with no end, a cycle of destruction that consumed everything it touched. And yet, the story of the Nether did not end with the subroutines. For Minecraft, the One, the Architect, called forth a new force. The players, mortals who could shape the world, who could build or destroy, who could bring light into the darkest places. The players became the bridge between realms. They ventured into the Nether, looting bastions, battling blazes and carving paths through the chaos. Some sought to conquer the Nether's power, harnessing its resources for their own ends. Others sought to bring order, facing the darkness with courage and resolve. But the Nether remains unchanged, a realm of conflict and despair. Its war continues, a reminder of the cost of rebellion and the fragility of unity. The players walk its fiery paths, shaping their own destinies amid the ruins of ambition. For before the first block was ever placed, there was Minecraft. The one, the architect.